series. So we have a flat alignment machine, which is this machine, which means it just lines based on the cladding. The Q102's core, so it lines up the actual glass. That machine is probably better for more rugged industrial older fibers. And then we have a ribbon machine. Sumitomo only does ribbon fiber. So all three of those carry a 3-year warranty. All three carry what we call a nanotune, which is the industry's first AI, artificial intelligence technology. So where you see it says auto nanotune right here, basically does two things. It identifies the fiber. So it knows if you're putting single mode, if you're putting multi-mode in the machine. And it also, with the AI, it basically just pulls from its memory thousands of different cleaves. So if you have one that's chipped, dirty, or angled after it's cleaved, 99.9% of the time the machine's going to splice it, because it's going to go in and find and be able to do that and give you a 0.03 dB or less every time. So basically there's two types of back out of here. There's two types of lost my train of thought. So we'll go ahead and get the fiber going. They had arc tests on, which any time before you start a job, you always want to do an arc test because it's based off temperature, humidity, even altitude. So you want to make sure you get the machine acclimated to the environment that you're working in, right? If you wear glasses, you walk in outside, they fog up. Same thing here. There's lenses in these machines, so you don't want to start fiber terminating until you let it set and then do an arc test. Once it says arc test clear, then you can proceed with your fiber. So basically the machine does two types of splicing, all the machines, right? Inline butt splice, fiber to fiber, which I'm going to show you, and then the splice on connector. It'll splice a connector onto the end of the fiber, and once you splice and terminate that, then basically you can just plug it right into your hardware. So splice on connectors. Standards are coming out more and more, like with hospitals, where they're going to require fusion splicing. Some of them have already done that. Even some education type facilities. Thank you, Frank. They're starting to pass standards that it's going to require fusion splicing. Roger mentioned something between the, I'm just going to start stripping here. Mechanical connectors and splice on connectors. I push splice on more than mechanical because once you initiate the termination on the mechanical and it has the gel or however that works, you put it in the machine, you don't know if it's a good connector until you test it. And then if you have bad connectors, you got to pull it back out, redo. It's more labor, more cost. Splice on connectors are going to give you low dB loss pretty much every time because they're hermetically sealed from the factory. So I'll cover that in a second. So I push splice-ons way more than I do mechanicals. So the first process is, all the machines come with a kit, and the strippers have 3 different slots. So the end one removes basically the outer jacket. The center one I'm using now strips out the 900 micron jacket, which takes you down to the fiber. And then the bottom groove is basically removes the coating. So you have to have that coating off before you clean it. So you do about a 1/4 inch at a time. Yes, that would be great. So, because I'm old and blind and I can't see.
That machine does tensile test as well. Does it tensile test it?
So you get about 1 inch and a 1/4. Thank you. Thank you. And I always put it behind a book backdrop, right?
The black mat.
Yeah, exactly. So then I'll go to the smaller groove and I'll just group it. I did this the other day when I was out in Iowa and it flipped up. The fiber stuck right there on my finger.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't go in. I was able just to take it out and throw it away. But when you and this is the hardest part. I mean, you've got to get a feel for it. So you see the white coating?
Yeah.
All right, getting there. So then we have the spray, we have cloth. So we clean 3 times. So they all come with fiber holders. And you notice this magnet. This is the working tray. The machine on the 502 has a working tray, so you can tripod mount it. You can wear it around your neck. Has magnets in case you're up on a ladder. You don't lose your strippers or your fiber holders. So that was all because of feedback from the field, from the techs. So you basically got your fiber holder and you have the fiber. The fiber kind of has a bend to it. You always want the bend to go down because the machine can't adjust fiber left and right. And you pull it all the way back to where the end of the jacket is on the end of the holder. And you flip that over. This is the clamshell series cleaver, 48,000 cleaves. It rotates the blade a quarter of a turn every time. So you engage the button, slide up the fiber, and it's cleaved.
Whoa.
So this goes in the machine. I'm gonna try this backwards.
That's way faster now than what I used.
You always read, it says FHS 09, that's the 900 micron fiber holder. Kind of land it like a plane. You don't want to put your fiber into the machine fiber first because it'll break. So you want to just kind of lay it in the machine like that. If you close the lid, you can see the fiber. Don't look too bad. It's not bad, first time ever. Alright, so then you do the other side the same way, right? We just strip back, and again, I said this is the hardest part is the stripping, just to make sure you don't break the fiber, and people are real, take their time, but you can be a little quick. And it takes. Again, spray, strip, clean. All this comes in the kit. I was starting to say that. The cleaver, everything you see here is basically in the kit.
And ADI sells all of that kit? I know what I want for Christmas now.
All right, same thing, right? All right. And you know what? Dang it, Frank. Okay, so the first step when you fiber splice
Glasses.
is you put the splice sleeve on, and I didn't do that, and I've done that a number of times. So we're gonna try something here.
It's easier when nobody's looking.
I know.
You
Right?
remember all this stuff.
I do it when I'm home. So I tied a knot in the end of the fiber here just so I could pull the sleeve on. So it will be all right if I can get this in here. But that's the first step, and it totally. Done that a number of times. All right, so and the reason I had to do that is because I've already cleaned it. So if I try to put that through the splice, I got to just
Redo the whole
do
thing.
here. But that's always the first step. Okay, so basically the second over here it says 60 millimeter. That's what this is. This is the heater element for the splice sleeve. So this is 60 millimeter. There's 40 millimeter. There's also a setting on here when you do the links connector because it's a different heating. So basically, you hit the arrow, does a perfusion check, lines it up. It arcs, which basically fuses it. 0.000 dB, so not bad for upside down.
Right.
So you lift the lid, you slide up your heat shrink, you open up these tabs, and you kind of have a little pressure on it. You don't want to pull it hard, you just kind of want to let gravity work together. Kind of in the middle like that. And then you just line it up, and it automatically closes and you're on to your next splice.
Yep. And then heats it up, shrinks it.
And the yellow line that's going, that's the heater. So about 28 seconds. And Splice sleeve has a metal bar in it, strength member. So once this heat shrinks is done, it cools. You can't. I mean, if you really try, you can probably bend it, but it's very sturdy, very strong. Right. So that's an inline splice. So it beeps. I can take this out. This is warm to the touch, kind of hot. So you just let it cool, but that's your splice. Right? Machine does everything. All you do is strip, clean, and cleave, and then you can. Once that gets. So that's the inline splice. Anybody want to see the connector? You do that?
I see now. It's pretty much the same thing, just that.
Yeah, you do the fiber on the left side all the time. The connector's always on the right.
Okay. Pretty much the same thing.
I can do one, but at the end of the day, you basically, it looks like this. And once it's spliced, that plugs into your hardware. That's what the splice
Is there a reason why you do the fiber on the left side all the time?
Yeah, because the way the connector holder, this holder fits these posts, only on the right side.
Oh, really?
And usually your inbound fiber is coming from the left.
I mean, I've been doing it like that, but I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
I guess I haven't
there's
tried
posts,
that one on the right side.
there's
Yeah.
posts and they're angled.
Right.
And the mold on the
only fits
plastic
one
is
way.
only one way. But your inbound fiber, more than likely when you're working on a site, your inbound fiber is always coming in from the left, terminate to the right. Same principle. Let inbound fiber terminate the connector,
Got it.
plug it in. Yeah, I mean, I can. If you want to see a connector, I'm happy to. Same principle. I'm going to leave that splice sleeve on that. But basically, this tears open and there's a couple parts to it.
Right.
Usually it comes in like 10.
So, first thing you put on is your boot,
Yeah.
if you remember. Look at that. And then the heat shrink. Next. Right? And then everything's the same. You're going to strip, clean, and cleave. At least. And you know, I found that like the strippers are, it's a big difference between the strippers. The strippers I have in my other machine, they don't clamp as tight. So I'm struggling to.
So the stripper won't let you cut through the fiber. It just goes down to the jacket.
Yes. Yes, it will not cut through unless you, as I did when I first did that, I got it in that last groove, and whenever I went, I think I went at an angle and it snapped it. As long as you go straight out, it'll take this jacket, remove it, and then it'll remove the coating.
Got it.
And it's, again, we talked about it's like if you golf, if you play an instrument, the more you practice, the better you're going to get. There's no difference on this. Okay, I got to make sure I get the right holder. So the fiber comes in from the left. All right, that's it. So we put it in here, fiber down, and there's little grooves in here, so the fiber sits in it
right
nicely.
in it.
And then we go. And we lay this in here like that. Then we take our connector, sealed from the factory. So the ferrule's up here. You never want to touch this. That way, it'll get dirty and you'll run it. These things are $10, right?
Yeah.
So you basically start at the top, and you just peel your down with your thumb rolling, and then there's that hole and it pops it out. And you just grab it. So this is a tether. It has its own holder. They come in boxes of 10. A holder in every box. These, I don't know how long you want to use them, but you just lay it right in there like that and close the lid. And you put it in the right side.
That's it.
And I'm gonna go down to the heater. I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna pick splice on connector, and it's always the top one, the links. So the heater is adjusted,
But they don't have those touches.
and I'm gonna hit splice.
Okay, because it was a non-warranty. There's no warranty there. There's
0.00 dB.
performance.
So I'm gonna slide up my heat shrink like I did last time.
I'll love the meat. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, because
Lift these up. Let gravity take that right over that first metal part and hold it steady in the machine. Same principle. It's gonna heat, and after we let it cool, we'll slide up the boot. We're gonna put this over. It's gonna click, and you're done. Pretty slick. We move thousands of these connectors. Yeah. So. Question?
You got to do it over. I just get the numbers.
I'm happy to.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it. So,
So just to double check, ADI has the machine.
Yeah, not in stock. The machines come from North Carolina, so a couple days. But if you go through ADI, various part numbers, I have brochures at the table, and you different configurations or whatever. But yeah, as you see the kit, you basically get the holders, the cleaver, the stripper. You get everything, and just order the part number through ADI. They order it, it ships in like 2 days.
How much is?
I'm gonna let this cool just a second before I slide it up.
so you're doing single mode. And
I'm doing a single mode LC connector, little connector.
Is the more the one that
So that slides up like that, and then this goes like that. So you kind of butt it up
and then snap them together?
like that together.
seminar, which
Hear
is
it
right
click.
after this.
That's a tether, so this just comes off,
Here our spiel.
and there's your connector.
No.
Boom, into the machine. So that's it. That's it. Inline splicing and connector splicing. That's what it does. Sorry? The cost for this machine, as far as distributor, you're looking under 5. I don't know what the market, what the price is.
you would do all that.